Falcon 3.3 fast adjust coilover shocks for the Ford Bronco are designed to upgrade your Bronco's suspension with Falcon's signature comfort and control, but provide a lifted ride height, which is adjustable and allows clearance for up to 37-inch tires. Begin the installation process by lifting the vehicle off the ground and removing the wheels. Disconnect the tie rod end from the knuckle. You will likely need to use a hammer or an air hammer to loosen the stud. Disconnect the sway bar link from the knuckle on both the driver's side and the passenger side. Remove the hub nut. Using a non-scarring hammer, loosen the shaft in the hub. Loosen the nut on the joint connecting the upper control arm to the knuckle, keeping it on a few threads. Hit the knuckle with a hammer or an air hammer until the stud on the ball joint comes loose. Remove the nut and slowly allow the knuckle to drop. Watch the shaft in the hub, and if it doesn't move freely, give it a few taps with a mallet. You don't want the knuckle to pull on the shaft at all. Hang the knuckle out of the way using a bungee cord. Remove the hardware on the underside of the strut. You can either push the studs out of the strut with an air hammer, or push the knuckle down on the lower control arm with a pry bar until the studs are free of the arm. Be careful not to separate the joint on the CV shaft or damage the boot in any way, especially if you choose the latter option of pushing down the lower arm. Once the studs are out of the lower control arm, remove the hardware on the top of the strut, and it should come right out of the vehicle. Install the Falcon upper body cap bracket so that the Falcon logo is facing out. It sits under the strut tower with the hardware installed from above. Install the Falcon coilover assembly. The piggyback reservoir should point towards the inside of the vehicle. The wider end of the bar pin should point towards the CV shaft to provide clearance for the joint. Attach the upper body cap to the bracket you just installed. On the lower end, install the stud plate from the underside of the arm into the bar pin. Final tighten the shock hardware. Connect the upper control arm to the knuckle. Reconnect the tie rod end to the knuckle. Replace the hub nut. Reconnect the sway bar link to the knuckle only after both the driver and passenger sides have been installed. We suggest first installing 2 brake line relocation brackets on the rear axle before installing any other components. This will ensure that you will not stretch the brake lines when you install the Falcon coilover assemblies. The first bracket installs just to the right of the differential housing. Remove all the clips on the lines around the bracket, and then remove the hardware from the bracket. Install the new bracket onto the axle and then connect the brake lines to it. Reattach the clips to the new bracket. The second relocation bracket goes just to the left of the passenger side brake caliper. Disconnect the brake line from the axle and place the relocation bracket onto the axle, then attach the brake line to it. To remove the rear strut, support the axle and remove the hardware on the lower eyelet. To access the upper end, you will need to partially remove the inner fender liner. For the video, we removed the entire inner fender liner. Remove the hardware on top of the strut, and the strut will come out. Install the upper mounting bracket from below with the Falcon logo facing rear. Like in the front, the hardware installs from the top. Install the Falcon coilover assembly with the reservoir facing out. The threaded holes on the lower end should face the front. Reuse the factory hardware to install the lower eyelet. A spacer goes on either side of the eyelet. Install the roost guard onto the 3 outermost threaded holes. On vehicles with the gas tank skid plate, the skid plate can make minor contact with the driveline when the rear flexes. To prevent this, you need to trim the skid plate a small amount. Remove the driveline. Mark the area you need to cut. Go down the weld about 1.5 inches and go straight across so you're cutting out a triangle. Place a metal plate in between the gas tank and the skid plate before cutting. Never cut the skid plate without having a metal plate in the way to protect the gas tank. Use a cutoff wheel to remove this section of the skid plate. Clean up the sharp edges with a grinder. Prime and then paint the cut section. Use a good etching primer and black enamel semi-gloss paint. Support the rear axle and disconnect the rear track bar from the axle. Set the new rear track bar bracket into place and attach it to the axle using the provided hardware. On the left, install the small bolt with a thick washer on the back side. Finger tighten it for now. Install the spacer in the spot where the track bar used to mount. Attach it reusing the factory hardware. Attach the track bar to the bracket using the provided hardware. Because the track bar is loose, you may need to rotate the track bar just a bit to get it to fit into the bracket and get the bolt to go through it. Tighten hardware for the bracket. Only tighten the hardware for the track bar after the vehicle has been returned to the ground and the suspension is under load. After you've completed the installation process, you will need to get an alignment done. After that, you'll just need to go find a trail to drive on. You gotta make sure they work after all.